Hello everyone and welcome back to our Rise of Kingdom video. This is your boy Rani, and today we have Henry V, our second best archer commander that has been introduced recently into the game alongside Boudica, which I think it is the first best. He is from the mightiest governor, so for a lot of players might not be very accessible. However, Boudica is from the Wheel of Fortune, so you can definitely enjoy her. 2300 damage factor, same as Boudica, is a pretty big thing, to be very honest, when it comes to archers. I was super hyped when they introduced Artemisia with 1800, and I know what Edward was doing when he was a meta on the field and a meta in rallying. He was pretty devastating. Now, I don't want to imagine what Boudica and Henry will be able to do when it comes to rallying. Because if you think about it, there isn't two garrison commanders that are anywhere close to the amount of damage a Boudica and Henry can do together. You got 2300, then you got another 2300, which is just that. But Henry has another skill which does another 800, so this is just extra that it can happen every 5 seconds. On top of that, there is a lot of all damage that both commanders can do together. So you get a 10% from Henry, and then you get another 10% from Boudica expertise, which is pretty significant when you think about it. And Boudica also has a chance to dispel any silence, because Flavius in garrison does silence. So now with the expertise of Boudica, you can even counter that as well, which again, it is a pretty big deal. Going on to the second skill of Henry, this is what I like, that he's going to be very useful for field as well. Now, of course, Boudica will be much more useful than Henry, but with the 20% march speed, whoever you want to pair Henry with, he's going to be a very fast archer march, and I really like that at archers and infantry as well when they get march speed. On top of that, you get a flat 20% attack and a flat 20% defense, which is really good. The march speed only works outside alliance territory, but to be honest, when you're on alliance territory, you have the territorial bonuses. On the third skill, you have a flat 30% counterattack damage bonus, which, by the way, that happens every single turn, specifically when you're hitting targets. And after that, he has a debuff when you're hitting cities or garrisons, and the debuff consists of skill damage taken increase by the target. It says all damage, so that needs to be tested when we're first going to hit a pass or something. We will know more in details about that particular skill. However, even if it's just skill damage, is still really good. His third skill is really good. Even though archers don't do crazy amount of counterattack damage, but still, that's a permanent, so it happens every single turn. His expertise, however, is pretty interesting. It says when troops rage reach 70%, they deal 30% more normal attack damage. Like I said, I never saw a big deal about archers doing a lot of normal attack damage. You want to keep in mind another thing regarding this. Normal attack increases counter attack as well, and you also have Boudica, which does something similar to her third skill, right, with a chances, which kind of brings you to an anti-swarm type of march or an anti-swarm type of rally archer, because when Boudica third is getting activated and you have the expertise of Henry plus the third skill, because you are hitting a garrison, so this counter attack is being activated. There's gonna be a lot of counter attack when you think about it. Even if the march is not gonna be at 70% rage or over 70% rage, if it's under, you still take less normal attack damage, which again, normal attack is also counter attack, so you're taking less counter attack as well, which is pretty good. But taking less normal attack damage is basically the marches that are swarming you. So as long as you're under 70% rage, it's also good. When you're over 70% rage, it's also really good. And I will wait and see, but I'm 100% sure that Boudica and Henry will be the meta on everything. rallying everything with Boudica and Henry is gonna be the thing. And until we get the next calves, probably they will be unstoppable, which makes it about 4 months to be the meta on everything, rallying everything with Boudica and Henry, because of their capabilities of counterattack and their defensive capabilities, right? Because you get his primary skill, which gives you 30% skill damage reduction for 5 seconds, and then you got Boudica with another 25% skill damage reduction. She was at 35, so there was a slight nerf, but again, it's just a slight nerf. So that's a lot of skill damage reduction when you think about. And then you put together the 30% defense with the 20% defense from Henry, and you get a super solid combo. Not sure what can stop them. Counter rallies with Nevsky, probably, but I think those rallies can be easy swarmed as well. So I'm really curious to see what this pair can do, but as far as I'm noticing and as far as I can tell from their skill description, they will be the meta on everything. Probably the third time when I'm saying this, because I was shocked when the leaks were released. I was like, they really want to release commanders with archers in particular with so much skill damage reduction, skill damage increase on the target, and so much direct damage factor all combined in one. So much counterattack, so much defense. They don't have health, is true, and we'll see how that will work, but I still think that they will demolish everything when it comes to Garrison. Flavius, Zenobia's, YSS, whoever they're gonna put, it will just get crushed, completely crushed. Even Caps, even Jadwiga. You will trade so positive on Jadwiga. Oh my days. Regarding field fighting, obviously a Boudica and Henry, it would be the go-to, but if you want to split them apart, I mentioned a couple of pairs when I've done Boudica's video. Very high possibility with Ramses, very high possibility with Gilgamesh, even with Nebu. I would put Henry as a second in command, even though he has the support tree. It could work as a primary as well. Amanitor was being used as primary for a very long time, and it still is by a lot of people with Artemisia on the field, so it could be used as a first as well. But the whole point is that the 2300 damage factor from Henry, you want to empower it with a skill talent tree. There's a lot of skill damage, and there's another 3% skill damage from here, plus the rage restoration from the skill, so it will definitely benefit a second in command a lot. Maybe Gilgamesh and Henry might be a better option for rallying, because Gilgamesh also debuffs the target with health. It has a 30% health as well, and then 20% archer damage, which is pretty good. Archer attack, and it also stacks up, so there's a lot of attack as well from the third skill as the conquering skill. And then you have the fourth skill, which you take less damage, and you're doing more damage on the target plus increasing skill damage on the target as well. So Gilgamesh, it is a very nice and solid option for Henry as well, but the only problem is 1500 damage factor. It doesn't have the 2300 that Boudica has. That's a whole 800 in there. And then you have 25% skill damage reduction on Boudica, right, which is something that all commanders do in Garrison right now, skill damage. So I think that's the golden apple that you cannot take away when it comes to rallying. On top of that, Boudica increased the skill damage on the target by 35, while Gilgamesh only increased it by 15, if I'm correct, with his blood craving. So I would still prefer to have Boudica over Gilgamesh. Same thing with Nebu. If you're thinking to go like Nebu and Henry, I will 100% say that Boudica will still be better, even though Nebu has 1500 plus 500, which brings him very close when it comes to single target. And then Nebu has other things like damage bonus 15%, which is all damage, 30% archer, flat defense, while Boudica has 30% attack as well, which does another salvo of damage. And you have the counterattack damage bonus by 30%, which would work very nice and would work hand in hand with Henry when you think about it. But to be honest, with all this beauty and all these damages that Nebo can do, a 2300 nuke will overrule this. Plus Boudica can dispel control effects, so yeah, it's still gonna be Boudica and Henry in any way you wanna put it. But when it comes to field, for field fighting, there is different rules that apply. So Henry can work for field as a second in command. Nebu and Henry, like I said, Gilgamesh and Henry. You can do Henry and Ramses, or Ramses and Henry. Even a Henry and YSG if you want, for that matter. It will be quite alright. With the support tree from Henry, you can provide even more skill damage reduction, which will make a Henry YSG March even more defensive. But not having the skill talent tree, with the support talent tree, you don't have a lot of bonuses, increases on skill damage. So that's the only downfall from Henry and YSG. That's why on the Boudica video, I recommended Boudica and YSG. With Artemisia, it would not work. Artemisia works with either Amanitor or Boudica because both commanders have silence immunity or chances to dispel silence when it comes to Boudica. And that makes the perfect match-made pairs for your Artemisia. With Tomiris, it would not work because Tomiris needs commanders that build rage very slow, such as Edward, which doesn't work in Season of Conquest anymore. Or other options is Ramses. People also use Honda because it needs a lot of rage to build, but that's leadership. So plenty of options to go around with Henry. Probably could work even with Cyrus, but the problem is the march speed that you want to take in consideration. 15% march speed plus 20 is 35. Same thing with Nebu. You get 15% march speed plus 20, that's 35. While a Gilgamesh doesn't have any march speed, a Ramses doesn't have any march speed, a YSG doesn't have any march speed. So I would say that overall it might be better options for your Henry if you want to split Boudica and Henry apart, so you can try to balance the march speed as much as possible. When it comes to a talent tree, I'm gonna post some Amanitor talent trees because our boy Henry has Archer and support. And when it comes to Conquering Tree, I don't really like the Conquering Tree, and there isn't a lot that you can get from Conquering Tree, except Buckler Shield getting less counterattack damage, but that's only on your primary target. So I'm not really a big fan of Buckler Shield either anymore, and it will help a lot more if you just use the Archer and the support tree, if you plan to use Henry as a first. And that's why I'm gonna post the Amanitor talent trees. I'm gonna post them on top. There's gonna be two of them that I really enjoy, and it's gonna be the one with the full Archer tree, that it is the best. But if you want more protection for your Henry, there is a second talent tree where you get the emergency protection. But pay attention on the rejuvenate. It's only going to be 2 out of 3 on the rejuvenate, and that will be more than enough to build your rage up. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about Henry V. I am super hyped and I'm super pumped about both Boudica and Henry V. Like I said, they will be the meta against everything. Until next time, this is your boy Ronnie signing off. Peace out here and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there, my friends.